millennials are all this, and even if they are, my point is, we still got to figure out how to work with them, because
Correct.
as we're getting older, they're going to be the ones that are going to be paying us and hiring us.
And not only that, the thing is, I'm going to share with you the tools how you can actually do that, because right now we are stuck in a problem situation, but really not say, how can we create something better in the future, right? So again, if you look at your companies, even if you look at your family, getting to the next level of greatness depends on the quality of the culture, which depends on the quality of the relationships, which depends on the quality of conversations. Everything happens through conversations. The same thing happens, think about it. What is happening in companies right now, where would you say, if you looked at your companies, the companies that you're working in right now, how would you look at the quality of their culture? Is it great? Is it mediocre? Or is it more like that? Okay. And where does it reflect the most? Attrition. What do you think was the employee turnover statistics for last year?
25–30%.
Yep. 1 in 4. They predicted 1 in 4 employees, that was 42 million, intended to leave their jobs in 2018. I did not get the statistic how many actually left. I looked through it to find it, but again, that is what they predicted. 1 in 4. And 1/4 of that, I'm sorry, 3/4 of that turnover could have been prevented by the employers. Because what do you think is the major reason why people left and leave companies? Culture, okay.
Their boss.
Their boss, interactions, yeah, and not enough growth. That was actually number 1. The boss was number 2.
I think there's a big component there, Jim and others can jump in, which goes back to communication at the outset in terms of
Expectations.
when they're candidates.
Right. Yeah.
Both sides is the right fit. So they're determined they want to.
Right. But, you know, companies, if you really think about it, companies as well as the candidates, they show themselves in an unrealistic way. You know, they make something up just to look good. Nobody's really authentic in an interview, or it's very hard sometimes to be authentic, right? Eric, do you agree or disagree?
Well, I do. What just flashed through my mind is a number of conversations I had as an employee or as a consultant, where the discussion to attract me did not align with the reality of the situation at all.
Yeah.
And that seemed to be the controlling factor throughout the entire relationship.
Yeah.
From that first conversation.
Right. Yeah.
Really is what I reflected most on.
Yeah, it happens all the time. And so they said employers paid $600 billion in turnover cost last year. And what do you think, what is the prediction for 2020? How much? Only 680 billion. So, but it's going up. What do you think what is about the engagement rate in companies right now? In 2018, the Gallup engagement survey, what do you think, what did they, bless you, Leslie. 45% engaged? How much? 60% engaged?
27.
27, okay. 15 engaged, okay. What do you think about, how many do you think are actually actively disengaged? 25%? Okay. Here are the results. 34% are engaged. 13% are actively disengaged. And about 53% are not engaged. Yes, Chad?
Got a really probably down to sounding question, but what is engagement? I mean, is that saying, can you get your work done and still not be engaged? Because I think you probably could.
Correct. And these are...
So what is engagement?
Okay, so engagement, the one that you are talking about, getting their work done, is more the ones that are not engaged in a way of... Engagement really means people who actively want to contribute to the company, who are going in actively providing solution, wanting to provide solution, really being in there for the growth of the company and enjoying it, where they say, I love to go to work every day. Rather than just going in, doing my job, checking out, leaving at 4 o'clock and not caring about anything.
I'd say it's like that person, that individual employee, considers that company part of their identity. Yeah.
Does not have to be necessarily.
Yeah.
It does not have to be, no.
If you're engaged, you know, that doesn't become part of your identity.
I would not say so necessarily.
I would say kind of like, but very understanding the brand motivated, being very motivated.
Being motivated, right.
Yeah. I think Jeff is onto something. I think that people find themselves not by who they are, but what they do. And I think there's a lot of, I get self-actualization by identifying with my work. And if it's something that I love, then I'm engaged. Right?
Well, but then again, good question. What I should have asked is, how do you define identity? How far does identity go? Okay, yeah, right. And then I would say agree. Identity meaning I care about it. I care about the company. I care about my team. I care about really making a contribution in the company. Yes, Jim?
So, sounds like what you're saying is the ones that are not engaged are meeting the minimum standards to stay employed.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, they're not going that extra effort to be make a significant contribution or change.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that is the one.
And I think being fully engaged in the company is understanding that even though that you have a defined role, is to be fully engaged with the company, you have to understand how that role, the decisions you make in that role, impact everybody in the company, every department. Because too many times within conversations and communication, I can't tell you the number of times that I've gone in and 2 departments will have a discussion that impact 2 or 3 other departments, but they never bring those other departments into the conversation. They just make a decision together. They do a transaction. Next thing you know, the department said, "Hey, what is this? Where did this come from?" Because they're not fully engaged with how everything works within the organization and include everybody.
And that is actually where the first habit comes in, that is really lowering the CIQ, which is having a power over attitude versus a power with attitude. So in other words, as you say, somebody is making a decision about something, not contributing the other department or the other team into the decision-making process, and then just throwing it at them and say, here, you need to get this done. And I have this going on right now in a company where they wanted me to come in to do a communication workshops with their managers. And I asked them, what is the outcome that you would like to get out of that, right? And they said, we want them to breathe. And I said, what do you mean about you want them to breathe? And I said, well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, you know, the executive leadership team just throws in more ideas and changes, and they're afraid of change. And, you know, it's a new change almost every month. It's a fast growing company, and they are just nervous. They lost their confidence, and we want them to breathe. And I said, if you want them to breathe, we got to work with the executive leadership first, because they are the ones who are making the decision. And not only that, it's the CEO pretty much with 2 of his team members that are making decisions and then throwing it out at the rest of the team, not getting any kind of input from anybody else. And this is a 400 people company.
So I've mentioned I was 6 disciplines coach, and I'm listening to all this. The whole 6 disciplines philosophy is that you engage employees at the lowest level and help them build their plan.
Yeah.
So we say it's a management system for purpose-driven leaders, i.e. ones that are willing to listen.
Right.
So it would be a good system for that company where they want to do this top-down approach, because it's a bottom-up approach.
Yeah.
It's all about engagement. So that we say Susie down in the marketing department running the blog knows the top 3 things that she needs to do to contribute to the vision of the company, and she understands the vision.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how you get employees engaged.
But you see, here's the thing. If the leadership approach is power over instead of power with, there is no trust. There needs to be a buy-in first. Right.
Conversations, communications that have the biggest impact are the ones that don't.
Okay, say more about that.
In other words, you don't talk to somebody because not bringing them in, not getting them ownership, not
Right.
getting their buy-in.
Right.
It's like I said, so many times that I've gone to somebody, hey, did somebody tell you this? No, they didn't share this with you. They should have been brought into that conversation.
Right.
I want to be the one that winds up doing it.
Right. And then all of that erodes the trust.
An interesting story that totally supports this is I got brought into an internal branding initiative for a big electrical contractor that's $150 million company, ESOP, and the CEO wanted to do an internal branding initiative, and we named it. We did the branding for it. So just to get to 250 million by 25. And so they had a big employee owners meeting in Chattanooga a month ago. I helped to kind of craft the story that he was going to talk about at the meeting. Well, he ended up hiring me to have a conversation with him on stage.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't like the appearance of power over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you to buy in.
Yeah.
So we developed the smart stuff. But at the very least, let's have a conversation. So Jeff, the CEO, isn't telling you what to do. It's going to start to facilitate the buy-in.
Right.
By power with.
Power with. Right.
So
That has to be the approach. Another big mistake is what is called addiction to being right. Do you know people who love to talk, who have the answers for everything?
I just want to add, I heard I can't remember who it is, because I didn't read it, but something that's resonated with me all week, and that was there's two things you never want to be simultaneously, and that's loud and wrong.